as the months went on, literally, I got rejection letter after rejection letter after rejection letter. I said, not even one acceptance, not even one. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So my name is Erica. For some of you that don't know, some people call me EG. Yeah, so I wanted to come on here and record this video to give you all like a quick story time or a life update, maybe. Yeah, more like a life update / story time. About where I've been, how I'm doing, where I'm at with my legal journey, things like that. Before I start, don't come for me, ignore my mess. I was folding up clothes, but I just got this urge of coming on here, being social, and I wanted to talk to someone. I didn't have really anyone to talk to, so I'm like, why not record this video? I've been wanting to record this for a while. So yeah, and I'm gonna be sipping. This is not wine, this is not alcohol. This is cranberry juice, water, and a dash of lemon juice. I just wanted to be cute. I wanted to, you know. So yeah. Yeah, so let's start off from like where I've been. I feel like I have a lot of exciting news to share with you all. If you follow me on Instagram, some of you will know that I got accepted into law school. Yes, I got my first law school acceptance. I am still waiting on a lot of other acceptance letters. You know, I've so far received 2 acceptances, one wait list and one like performance-based program. And yeah, we're still waiting on the decisions. I'm at a point right now in my life where it's like, I don't know where I'm gonna be this time next year. It's very up in the air. I don't know where I'm gonna be, but I know one thing's for sure, I'm gonna be in law school. Thank you, Jesus. So to God be the glory. I've got accepted into law school, and that feels so surreal for me to even say. If you've been following me on my journey, when I first made my Instagram page and my YouTube and all this other stuff, when I first made this page, it was more so for one, to inspire others through just through my journey, to show you my journey, to be transparent on my journey. It was also in a way for me to stay consistent and to stay on top of myself, because I was in a point where I found myself, I was studying and then I would stop studying, and then I would study and I would stop studying, and it wasn't like I was consistent on this journey. And I wanted to just create a community and just an environment of holding myself accountable and holding others accountable and being dependable, and a way for people to like lean on each other. And at the time, my name was at retaking the LSAT. Because I was retaking the LSAT. I took it, I'm trying to think I took it once before. I have a whole story time on the first time I took the LSAT. You can watch that on my channel. I think I unlisted it for a second, but I'm gonna relist that video. You can watch that video on my channel. My whole story time about how I my first LSAT experience, where I felt I went wrong, things like that. So when you all found me on my Instagram page, I was studying to retake the LSAT because I felt like I know everything that I did wrong. I knew everything that I did wrong. I was gathering as much materials that I could so that I could do better. My practice tests were much better. I would say that my practice tests were much better. I actually took practice tests this time. I was scoring much better, but there was a disconnect in timing for one. Timing, strategy. I don't feel like I had any strategy the second time I took it. So there was a disconnect. So I felt like that is one thing I would say. I feel like when you are self-studying and you never took any type of course and you're really just going off of material that you're gathering and like little snippets on YouTube and little snippets on Instagram, like, I feel like it's but so helpful. It's only gonna help you but so much. And that's what happened with me. It helped me but so much. Like, there was still so much that I needed to learn about the LSAT, which I didn't learn. And with self-studying, because I'll get into it a little bit later in the story, I'll get into it how things begin to click for me that, let me just finish what I'm saying. I'm sorry if I'm all over the place. That's just how I talk normally. With self-studying, there was but so much that I was gonna learn. I was really only gonna learn what I taught myself. So January 2021, when I took the LSAT, for one, I remember this distinctly because at the time, I was doing really, like, on my own. I would, like, at my own pace, I would do really good at logic games. But I remember on the test, I got through the first 2 logic games, and then the last 2 logic games were always so hard for me. They were always, like, super, super hard for me. And I don't know why, like, under time conditions, they were always so hard for me. So that's one thing that I didn't get through. I was really focusing on logical reasoning because I felt like logical reasoning was my weakest spot. So I was really focused on logical reasoning. So when I got to the logical reasoning section, it was, it was what I expected it to be. I felt like I did really well in the logical reasoning section. I didn't really pay much attention to that reading comprehension section. So that was up in the air. But so that January 2021 LSAT, I left the test that day and I didn't feel confident in my score. And I remember one of my friends had called me and he was like, "How do you think you did?" And I was just like, at this point, it is what it is. Like, my applications are in. I'm gonna go with it, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, also, mind you, with my applications, I felt like, so my personal statement, all of that other stuff, I had my friends looking over it and stuff like that, but I felt like I had to make it as a part of me made it like a trauma dump. Like, my personal statement and stuff like that was a trauma dump. Also, I felt like I was being kind of lazy because, like, some schools that ask for a diversity statement, I could have attached a diversity statement to it, but I really just had resume, personal statement, addendum, whichever. Addenda. Yeah, I had an addendum. I'm sorry. But I had resume, personal statement, addenda. That's it. Also, that's another thing, but I'll get into, like, the whole, like, how I got everything, how I switched everything around later on in the story. But all right, but this was the first time that I actually applied to law school. So my applications were already in. I took the LSAT. My score, I wasn't sure what the score was gonna be. I prayed that it was higher than what I got the first time, but I wasn't sure. I knew it wasn't gonna be no 180, 175. You know what I mean? So I wasn't sure what it was gonna be, but I'm like, it's in God's hands. It's in God's hands at this point. So yeah, I was 2021. I felt like I was getting into school. 2021, the start of 2021, I felt like I was about to make a lot of moves. Like, I'll be just as transparent as possible. So yeah, started 2021. I thought my life was about to go in a direction where I finally wanted it to go, career-wise, right? But literally, 2021 went nothing like how I wanted it to go, how I expected it to go, right? Everything that could have went wrong for me went wrong. Nothing that happened to me in 2021 I expected to happen. Nothing at all. Nothing. So first of all, I had situationship problems. As the months went on, literally, I got rejection letter after rejection letter after rejection letter. I said, not even one acceptance, not even one acceptance. It just kept getting worse. It just kept getting worse for me. Yeah, and then I got the worst news ever in my life. I don't really want to talk about that because that's just gonna make the whole video go in a different direction. But I got the worst news ever. My whole life changed. Like, everything that could have went wrong in 2021, and I did not know how I was gonna pick back up. I didn't even know if I was going to continue on this legal journey. Like, I didn't know. Like, I had to find my center again. I had to find my purpose again. Like, why am I doing this? Like, people who've been through like a traumatic experience, or like losing someone and someone really close to them, you know how it feels. But yeah, so that's how 2021 ended for me. Like, I feel like I didn't get no good news at all in 2021. 2022, I finally started to get back into the momentum of studying, but I was still doing the same self-studying. But I had to reflect, like, girl, it didn't work out for you last time with the self-studying. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't work out last time. I started to learn about, there are programs out there that do help you with getting into law school. And I didn't know about that. I had a friend that had sent me one program, like a pathway program. I applied for that. I didn't get into that. That was also 2021. But I applied for that. I didn't get into that. I applied for another pathway program. I ended up getting into that program. So this is the part where, things started clicking for me. So I ended up getting, 2022, I hope my timeline's not over the place and like people are able to follow. Cause I'm not really a great speaker, so yeah. But I've been wanting to get this story out, so yeah, I hope my timeline's not over the place and it's making sense and people are following, because it is a story where I do feel like people will see my determination and be like, if she could do it, I can do it. So let me get back into the story. 2022 is when things started to click for me. Even in 2022, when things started to click for me, 2022 still was one of like a hard year. Like 2022 for me, I feel like was a super hard year for me. Like, I was going through it, and most of it I was alone, and I felt like that's when things started to make movement for me, because I was able to be alone. I was able to sit alone, sit with God, pray with God, get hear God like clearly without hearing anybody else's voice. I was able to hear God. I was able to reflect. I was able to learn myself, learn why do you start and you stop. And I realized that, you know, a part of the reason why I would always stop and start was because, you know, I was kind of nervous of success. And then also I was getting a little frustrated because it's like I would make progress and then I would not make progress, and it wasn't consistent. So that's why I would start and I would stop, and I would start and I would stop. But back to the Pathways program, and I'll make a whole separate video of like the name of the programs, stuff like that. But I was able to get into this Pathways program, and this particular Pathways program provided you with a free LSAT course where it wasn't necessarily that you had a tutor, but you had someone detailed, like in detail, teaching you the LSAT from start to finish. And I felt like, this is another sidebar, but I'm great. I feel like my journey was meant to be the way it was because a lot of stuff that they were teaching, I already had the basic knowledge of it. I already had the basic knowledge. They just went deeper and they taught me, okay, on the LSAT, you need to have strategy. On the LSAT, you need to, you know, look for this type of language. You need to do this, you need to do that. Like, it taught me the little things that I was missing. There was things that I was getting it clearly because of my practice test. I was getting it, but there was still stuff that I was missing. And this LSAT course, you know what I mean? Something where I thought I could do it on my own. This LSAT course helped me. You know what I mean? It helped me. So that was one thing that this Pathways program helped me with. The second thing that this Pathways program helped me with is they helped me with my entrance essays. Looking at my essay from when I applied the first time to the essay when I submitted it to them, and they reviewed my essay, and they had 3 separate rounds of reviewing your essay. They would review it on the first draft, they would make edits. The second draft, they would make edits. And this, not only is this just my personal statement, but it's the diversity statement. It's the resume, you know, your specific law school resume. Your law school resume is gonna look different than your resume that you're applying for a job with. I didn't know that. I've never spoke to anybody who went to law school. You know what I mean? So how would I have known that? I didn't even know that. So I'm applying to law school with the same resume that I'm applying to a job with. Like, so yeah, the Pathways program helped me significantly. But still, all right, so 2022, also, I'm just all over the place because I'm kind of like, now I'm like excited to get to like the story. So 2022, I had this Pathways program. We working through it. They also helped me with like your application timeline. Did you know that it's all about when you apply too? Like, how would I have known any of this stuff? But yeah, so they helped me with the timeline. So I retook the LSAT in October. And I did much better, but there were still areas where all right, sorry y'all, my phone doesn't have storage. But yeah, so I did much better, but there were still areas where I felt I could have did much better. I could have done way better. Also, the day that I actually had my test scheduled in October, there was technical difficulties getting on from my computer. So I started late, I started late as heck taking my test. I was flustered. So I had emailed LSAT, and you know how they let you take your test over if there's like a test to retake. So I was able to take my test again later on in the month. So I retook the test again, got my score back. It was higher, so I'm making consistent progress. It was higher, but again, I'm like, I could do better than this. I could do better than this. I did not want to give up because I knew I could do better than this. Yeah, so unfortunately, there was no November. I mean, there was a November LSAT, but what happened? When did I take? There was a November LSAT, but I think I was too late to sign up for it. So the November LSAT was the last LSAT of 2022. So I had to sign up for the January LSAT again. So this will be, so if you're keeping up with the timeline, this will be the 5th time I'm taking an LSAT. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 1, 2. So yeah, the first time I took it, and then I retook it, and then I retook it. Then I had the technical difficulties, so I had to take it again. Now this would be the 4th time on record that I'm taking it, but in total, this is the 5th time I'm taking the LSAT. So yeah, I just had to focus. A lot of people were asking me to go out, hang out, I would hang out every once in a while with like my close friends just to keep sane, but it was a lonely year for your girl. So come January, I'm telling you, I feel like it was God. Come January, I took the LSAT. I'm taking this LSAT. I felt so confident in taking this test. I don't know what came over me, but I sat down beforehand. I studied. I got my logic games perfect. I was doing all of my logic games in the time section. I was getting 25 out of 25. Maybe I missed 1 or 2 on like the harder ones, but I don't know what it is. The last 2 logic games is the last logic game in the section is always a curveball. But I was studying all the curveballs. When test day, I took my logic game section. I felt confident. I got through the whole section. Logical reasoning, I said, oh my God, I'm doing this. Like, it was crazy. It was a crazy experience. That last time taking the LSAT, it was a crazy experience. I was very proud of myself at the end of it. So I'm like, I did that. So from the time I stopped taking my LSAT to February 1st, I think that's when it launched. I was praying. Like, Lord, please let me score high on the LSAT. Please let me score high on the LSAT. Please let me get a good score on the LSAT. I waited literally until like 11 o'clock at night. Scores came out. I got the email that your scores are released. I couldn't, like, I was so nervous. I couldn't even open it. Ended up opening it, and I got a score. I got a good score on the LSAT. Like, I finally got a good score on the LSAT where I am 100% sure that I'm getting into somebody's law school. You know, there's always doubts, of course, but I'm like, I'm getting into somebody's law school. I called on my friends. I text my friends. I called on my friends. Like, yo, I just got a good score on my LSAT. Like, I'm getting into school. So really, all that was left for me to do was just wait for decisions. And then, when was it? It was literally, so this is the crazy part about like this whole story, like my first law school acceptance, right? So if you look on my Instagram, I posted like the rejection letter that I got from the school. I got the rejection letter in February. Literally, I applied to the same school in February. So I applied for this school February 1st, February 2nd, and I got the same. So I got my decision letter February 15th, 16th, one of those days. So it's literally like they didn't take long to review my application and say, we want her. It did not take long. I applied in February, got my decision in February. If that's not God, I don't know what it, you know what I mean? Got my decision in February. And this was one of the schools that I applied to in 2021 where I got rejected from. So I know this is a long story, but I'm telling you, if my story doesn't inspire you to keep going and to not take your losses as the end all be all, and to keep pushing through after you get your rejections, or if you have a dream to keep going, I don't know what will inspire you. Because literally, like, as you can see from hearing my story, I got rejection after rejection. I think I applied to quite a few schools in 2021, and I got rejected from each school. And now I'm getting acceptance letters back to back. I'll get waitlisted. I got one rejection, but I emailed them and I'm like, hey, that was before my LSAT score came in. They reviewed it before my most recent higher LSAT score came in, and I was like, hey, I got a higher score on my LSAT score. Would you mind? All right, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm back. My phone is keep losing storage. Mind you, I have the highest storage on the phone. I guess it's just trying to tell me to hurry up and get through this story. I really enjoyed telling this story and speaking to y'all. It was very therapeutic for me. We should come back again and do this again. Where did I leave off? Let me try and see where I left off. I'm sorry. This stupid phone keep acting like a fool. Or my LSAT score came in. They reviewed it before. Yeah, so so I was saying that I got rejected from a school, but that was before I got my else. So I got rejected in January. So they sent the decision letter in January, but that was before I even got my LSAT score in February. So I let them know, like, hey, I took the LSAT in January and I just got my score in February. Would you mind reviewing? So they were like, oh, we're gonna send it back to admissions. So this year, 2023, I'm just grateful that I'm at the point where I'm at right now in life. Because I feel like I went through a lot to get here, and I fought hard to get here, and I'm grateful to be here. So, yes, I wanted to come on and, just tell my story of, how I got here. I know it was kind of choppy. I know I'm not the best speaker, but that is my story. If I could, like I said, if I could give a message to anybody who's either, fighting for a dream, that has a dream that they're going after, that they're trying to pursue, and it seems like everything possible is pushing you further away from your dream, the first thing that I would say do is to speak with God and get an understanding with God. If this is something that in your heart you believe that God is telling you, this is what I want you to do, or you could do this, then go for it, full throttle. Don't give up. Whatever rejection that you get, whatever no that you hear, just know that it's for a reason. And if there's something tangible that, I'm sorry, not tangible, I just be speaking sometimes, but if there's something that you could do to, every time you hear a no, I would say to take time to reflect on what I could do differently. How can I come back from this? Like for me, like how you saw the first time when I didn't do good on the LSAT, I made my Instagram page so that I could stay consistent. and I started self-studying and I got a better understanding. This is what I did wrong on the last LSAT. This is what I'm going to do differently. Then when I got, the second hurdle that I had to go through, I said, all right, I need help. Like, you know what I mean? I need help. Maybe I should apply for these programs, these pathway programs, someone who's been here before. Maybe I should do this and that. And that's another thing I wanted to say. I want to, I am very, very grateful. I'm sorry. Yeah, so the programs, I'm sorry. Yeah, so I said I need help. I need to get into a program. I feel like this program will help me. I got to the program. You just gotta finesse, finesse in a way. Like, this isn't working. Let me do it this way. Let me do it this way. Like, do it a different way. The way that I'm doing it isn't working. Okay, I need to, get back to the drawing board and figure out a different strategy. The end plan is not changing. This is what we're gonna do. We just gotta find out a different way to get there, and that's what I did. So the point that I was trying to make before, I didn't finish the point that I made. I'm very grateful of the people that offered free resources. Free resources. This program that I got in was for free. All I needed was letters of recommendation. All I needed was people to recommend me. I'm so grateful for people that offer free resources to people that are trying to go through this journey. People who went through this before, who said, I know the struggles that this girl is going to go through, and I want to make it easier. I don't know if you all follow her. If you don't follow her, you really should follow her. Nina. She is amazing. She created this community. It's called the Lost Sister Circle. And pretty much on her GroupMe, she shares nothing but free resources, free seminars, free pathway programs. This is literally how I found this pathway program. Someone in the group, other ladies in the group who are either aspiring to go into the legal fields, who are already in school, trying to get through school, or they're attorneys. Whatever path you're in, for a woman. And I found her literally she was one of the first people that I followed. I found her literally through a hashtag. And she has been so instrumental in my journey, and I'm so grateful for her. I made a whole post about her. So if you go on my Instagram page, you'll definitely find the post that I made about her. But she is a gem. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we need more people like her in our lives. But her name is Nina_Rani. So NEENA_RANI. Follow her. Become a part of her Lost Sister Circle, especially if you're a woman on your legal journey and you feel like, you don't have anyone who's ever been here. You've never spoken to anyone who's been here. It's just a community for you to join. But yes, the importance of mentorship is important too on my journey. But yes, I hope that I was as transparent as possible, that you were able to just relate to my journey. I hope that my story gets out there to somebody who's in the same process as me, because trust me, I'm sorry, not in the same process. I hope my story gets out there to somebody who's thinking about giving up, and I hope that someone who's thinking about giving up is able to see this video and say, because of watching her video, because of watching my video, I didn't give up and I kept going on my journey. Because that is my intentions with this page, with this YouTube page, is to have somebody watch me and say, because of her, I kept going. Because of her, I knew it was possible. So yes, that is my story. Also, lastly, the last thing, I have a lot of LSAT material that I am looking to not hand down, but I'm looking to donate to other people that are on this journey. So if you are on this journey, stay tuned on my Instagram. I am going to be making a Instagram post about how to enter into my giveaway. So I'm going to be doing a giveaway so that I can give my LSAT materials to another person that's studying for the LSAT. Being that I'm finally over this, so yes, I'm excited for what's to come. I thank God for getting me to this point. I thank you all for supporting me, for watching my videos. Yeah, so if you have any questions, feel free to leave questions in the comments below. Please like, comment, share my video. Follow me on Instagram, follow me on socials, and I hope that we're able to go further in this journey together. So thank you for watching. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, night, whatever time it is where you are at. It's like 1:26 a.m. over here, and I'm up making a YouTube video. I just had this burst of energy, but yeah, let me stop babbling. So I hope you have a great rest of your day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
I don't think you know.